Hi, subscribe to the channel, and for 1000 subscribers on the channel a video with stories for 24 hours will be released and also a bonus which you will learn about in the future.
My biological father abandoned my mother and me when I was born, leaving us with nothing but $38 now. 31 years later, he is trying to reconnect. Am I wrong for going off on him? There's a lot to put here, but I'm going to explain things as best as I can. Me and my bio dad have a very strained relationship. From the stories my mother told me, he used to do drags a lot before, and after I was born, she told me that while she was pregnant with me, he never once helped her do anything. He took her money, made her cook and clean, and treated her like crap. He even allowed his friends and family to treat her like crap after I was born. He got worse, until he just took everything, his stuff, and all of the money. He left my mom $38 to use to take care of me, and my mom told me that when he left, he looked at her, and then me, and said, "She'll be all right," then ran off down the road like a effing drifter. There were a few times he came into my life trying to be involved, but they were all big letdowns, nothing to sing home about. So fast forward to yesterday, I get a message from him on FB Messenger with him saying, "I love you." I was confused and basically just asked really blunt questions of what he wanted. He told me he wanted a father-daughter relationship and that when I'm ready, let him know. I will admit I saw red in the 31 years of buildup. Anger, rage, and sadness exploded like a dam. I went off. I told him he was a terrible father and that he walks around caring about other people's kids and preaching about how God wants us to do this and that, but he could never follow those teachings and do right by me. He ignored every single attempt I made to get him to recognize that he didn't do right by me. He flipped everything around to make it seem like he's the victim. He even had the nerve to shame my mother for choosing me instead of him. I was a newborn. I needed her. But all he cares about is himself. I left him a long message pointing out his faults and how he needs to better himself, then called it a night. About 2 days later, he messages me while I was playing Fallout 76 with my friends and tells me to grow up and that I don't know anything about him. Yeah, no. You left me dumbass. He then throws in a curveball by telling me he has cancer and that if I don't want a relationship with him, then it's basically my loss and he'll pray for me now. I will admit I may be in Daubach on how I went off on him, but I feel like my feelings are warranted. His side of the family doesn't care about me. His mother preaches God to me every time she calls me on my birthday and pressures me to have children because I have yet to give her grandbabies. I'm not against having children, but I'm enjoying life before I focus on caring for a little human. His sister used to make fun of me and call me a football player as a baby because I was a chubby baby. Ironic, since her daughters look like pit bulls, they don't even try to get to know me. The only time I matter her is my birthday, and that's if they care enough. So am I the bias for going off on my dad relevant comments? What kind of guys abandons their kids NTA op? Apparently the ones who get pouty because they aren't the center of attention and get jealous when their baby mama has to focus on a newborn instead of them comment, "My guess he doesn't have cancer, or if he does, it's a highly treatable kind. If he were terminally ill, he would have led with that opie." That's what I said. He waited until I was angry and raging like a bull in a china shop to throw out "I have cancer," but I try to keep it myself. I honestly don't believe he has it. But hey, if he does, may God be with you to add some added context. My sperm donor is a habitual liar, so I'm not 100% sure he has cancer, but I'm not a cruel person. So I'm giving him the benefit of but I still believe my feelings are warranted. Comment, did you feel better for telling your doubt sperm donor how you felt? If yes, then that's something, but hopefully the response he gave has made you see that this is why people say to ignore any reach out they try, because they will always turn it around and make it about them and make you feel like crap. Opie, I did feel better after telling him, and then I cried out of frustration. I cried even harder because of what my mom went through. I hugged her and I thanked her for being there for me and not abandoning me. Comment, honor. Thy father is not a request, but neither is it an absolute dictate. This is one such exception. Your father is merely trying to make amends as a hedge against divine judgment. He is trying to gain a brownie point or a mitigating defense argument. However, what he should have done is called you and was honest. For once, your forgiveness should not be the goal. P. Christian and I never liked or understood why people did things like that. It doesn't erase what they did until they have accepted their faults and made amends with those they have heard and with God. I'm not a Bible thumper. I just hate how people like my sperm donor look for the easy way to get a ticket to heaven comment. Truthfully, if I were in your position and he came at me with that cancer barrig, my exact reaction would have been good. I hope it's a painful and drawn-out process ending in your demise. You deserve nothing less. But that's me. I believe people should get what they deserve. Opie, it's definitely his loss. I had a feeling he was going to do the guilt-tripping maneuver. But the little girl in me was hopeful comment, Mom could be lying or skewing. The truth. Are you sure she's telling the truth? Opie, she did. I confirmed her stories with her twin sister. Because her sister witnessed most of what he did, he also confirmed things which added more to what my mom told me he would do. Did one thing my mom would say when I would ask about him, I will never turn you against your father. I don't need to. You will see with time how full of vow he is. And as I grew up, her words were always true update. First off, thank you to everyone who left a comment, and to those who are finding this story and are still leaving comments. My heart goes out to those who share the same experience I am going through with my sperm donor. I wish you nothing but positivity and happiness in your futures. In the advice you gave me, I am very thankful for it. You've given me the steps I needed to block the toxicity out of my life for the future. And now I thank you all now for the update. Me and my mom read some of your comments, and she thoroughly enjoyed your thoughts on her ex. This update is small, but it sheds some more light on my sperm donor. He messaged me a little after I posted this. I guess he felt I was talking about him. Hey, so I asked my mom more about my sperm donor, and she told me that him lying, gaslighting, manipulating, and playing victim is his whole mo. She said he did it a lot before she had me. One story she told me was how when she was pregnant with me, she had to walk 2 miles from home to the grocery store, then back while carrying all the groceries. I was shocked because I thought he would at least help her, but she told me he always sat on his ass watching TV and didn't do anything to help. She then told me how after she was busy taking care of the house bills, chores, and dinner, he expected her to give him some. I looked at my mom and legit said, Mom, I love you, but you could have fed someone better. She just laughed and agreed with me. We spent the day just talking and bonding. The last story she told me of him is how he put me in danger. She told me that she had left me with him because she had to work and handle some errands. Well, this POS took me with him to a crack house and just left me in a room with some random female while he went and got high. We were there for hours when she hadn't heard from him. She, my aunt, and my grandma. Her mother went looking for us, and they somehow by chance found us. She saw me in the arms of a crackhead woman who took care of me while he was high off of his ass. She was furious after that. She never trusted me around him ever again after hearing this story. I'm feeling so many emotions, but it has cemented my dislike of him. And I most definitely am going infinite. And see, I have him blocked on FB and will have him blocked on my phone permanently. I do have siblings, or I guess half-siblings. We have different mothers, but we all share his genes. I don't have a good relationship with them, and they all act equally childish and entitled. But that's a story for another day. I don't know if he's told them about his issue, but I'm going to assume he has, since he was pretty comfortable messaging me like he didn't abandon me. Whatever makes them happy. I guess not my boat to ride on. They haven't messaged me, which I'm grateful for. I'm too tired to deal with their childishness. I did, however, get a message from some woman who I later found out as his wife. I guess she felt like she had the right to talk down to me like she's my mother. I just sent her the middle finger, called her a bunch of names. My favorite is ugly Chewbacca-looking head ass. Stay in your lane. You're not an upgrade. You're the downgrade. He settled for, then blocked her. I then got emails from FB telling me I got messages from him, but I ignore them. I'm tired of dealing with this man-child's games, so I'm choosing to move on. As for his side of the family, I'm going and see. I get a strong feeling that if I ever met his side of the family, I would probably go through abuse, name-calling, and what I like to call third child black sheep syndrome, and I'm not up for that. I have my wonderful mother, and to her, I'm her number one. All I need is her. I'm sorry if it